Fortnite has added a lot of shotguns over the years, and today we're going to be ranking them all to find out which one is the best. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and use code WASOG to support me in the item shop. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so first we have the pump, and this is a lower rarity one, so I'm going to put this one in A, and then I'm going to put the purple and gold one in S. So the reason these two are separate is because the normal pump, the normal lower rarity pump, it's good. It has decent damage. It has decent headshot damage, but it's lower rarity. You can't really go in S tier for being a low rarity weapon most of the time. But the purple and gold pump really solves that problem, because in the new OG season, the gold pump can 200 again. So that is something that is really important to note, because if we were talking like a few days ago before the season came out, I'd probably put the pump over here. But since the gold one can 200 again, I'm going to put this in S tier, simply because of that fact, because I think if a shotgun can 200, it gets like an immediate S like placement. I think it's just like, it's over. It's like there's no other competition except for the other 200 shotguns, but you know. Next is the tack, and I'm going to put the lower rarity tack below the pump, but I'm going to put the high rarity tack above the pump. You know, it's kind of similar thing. You know, you got like the OG shotguns. The tack has always just kind of been seen as worse than the pump, but to me, it kind of just like depends on your play style. Like, if you're looking to like conserve inventory slots, I definitely think attack is better, because you can carry more heals without having to worry about an SMG. While with a pump, you have to kind of carry a spray weapon in case you just kind of like whiff your shot. But with the tack, that's not really a problem. So yeah, A tier for the tack. Next, we have the heavy, and this is specifically the old heavy. I have the two different heavies separate because they're technically two different weapons for some reason, but the old heavy, I'm going to place this one in B tier. The reason for that is because it's kind of just like a worse pump in every way. Like, the only difference is that I can like hit from slightly further away, but that's not really important because it's a shotgun. If you're going for like mid-range, you're going to use like an AR or something like that. So there's not really a point to this weapon, if you kind of get what I'm saying. I definitely think the Chapter 3 version definitely made it a bit more useful. I definitely think that one's better than this old one. Hot take, I know. We'll get to it. But yeah, it's alright. It's still, at the end of the day, like a pump kind of style shotgun, so it's always going to be kind of decent in that regard, but its competition is literally the original pump shotgun, so it wasn't really getting away with it. The next weapon is the double barrel, which I'm going to place above the heavy, and that's just simply because this thing does a lot more damage. But the reason it's not going higher is because it's very situational. It's like a situational shotgun. You have to be in like a certain situation to use this thing. You have to be like right in someone's face, you know what I'm saying? There's not really a lot of situations you can get away with running this as your primary weapon. It was only added to like please those who want a double pump back, and you know, just isn't that great of a shotgun, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, so our next shotgun is the combat shotgun. So right now, the combat shotgun, I'll probably put it above the heavy. This is how you do a long range shotgun. When this thing originally released, it was kind of busted. Right now, you know, it's alright. You know, you can certainly get away with using it as your shotgun, but it's definitely not crazy, if you know what I'm saying. I still think it's better than this heavy shotgun. It still works as it's intended. It's just the changes they made to this thing just don't make it like anywhere as good as any of these shotguns up here. So I'm gonna have to put it right here for now. Maybe that'll change later once we get to the other shotguns, but yeah, combat shotgun, you know, it's alright. It's alright. Next up, we have the drum shotgun. Alright, the drum shotgun, controversial, but I'm gonna put this in S tier. And you know, I'll move the gold pump up to SS tier. 200s, obviously. I think this is just for like 200 pumps. But the drum shotgun, this thing is S tier, and I hate it simply because it's just really annoying to fit, simply because it's just really annoying to go up against. You don't want to fight someone using this. Also, I don't really think it's that fun to use, if I'm gonna be honest. I'd much rather be using attack like over a drum. I just think this one's more fun to use over this one, so I'm really not looking forward to it coming back later this season. But yeah, drum shotgun, really good, and I don't like it for that reason. Alright, so charge shotgun. The lower rarity charge, I'm gonna place in low A, and then the high rarity charge, I'll place it like around the tack. These actually, I don't know if this one can one shot. Let me look this up real quick. Okay, so I just looked it up. The purple and gold charge can one pump. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna put it in SS tier. I think any, like as I said previously, any shotgun that can like one shot anybody is like an immediate SS tier. I think they're just kind of broken in a sense. And yeah, I know people might not agree with me on this one, but I'm just gonna say it how it is. I think one pump shotguns are like overpowered. I think they should be nerfed. You know what I'm saying? All right. Next up, we have the Dragon's Breath Shotgun, and this one is gonna go in C tier. So this one, it's definitely fun to use. Like if you're using this thing, I think you can have fun with it. I think it's an interesting dynamic weapon. If you're good with it, you can definitely like get a bunch of people. This one can one pump, but the reason it's not going in SS tier is because it's really hard to get one pumps with this, and it's only in gold rarity that get one pump. So it's very situational. It only has one shot, but it takes up 4 ammo per shot. It's just situational. It's fun, but situational. I think that's why it can't go any higher than C tier, in my opinion. Alright, so the lever action shotgun. This one, you know, it's good. Anytime it comes back to the game, you know, you're always like, oh yeah, that's the lever shotgun. I like the lever shotgun. I'm excited to see it. But I don't think it compares to any of these shotguns, you know? I think it's more on the level of these ones, like in terms of power and like just overall damage output. You know, it's good. You know, if it's in the game, it's certainly like a contender for a shotgun to use, which is why it's going to be high B tier, but it's not as good as like attack or a charge or even like a pump, you know what I'm saying? Alright, makeshift shotgun. I'm going to put this one in C tier. You know, last time we had a makeshift weapon in my assault rifle tier list, I put it straight in F tier, but the makeshift has a few redeeming qualities to it that I think put it above F tier. One is that you can get shots off really fast with it. Like if you're using a makeshift shotgun, you can just go bam, 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 and it's like really quick. And you know, it has alright damage. It's nothing crazy. I mean, this weapon is designed to be bad. There's really not much to say, but yeah, I mean, you could certainly get stuff done with it, but I don't think anyone is really looking forward to using this weapon at all. Alright. Primal Shotgun. This is going to be another S tier weapon, simply because it's just annoying. It's sort of like the drum shotgun, and that is just a super spammy shotgun. Just has like insane damage output. Like, this thing was insane. Like I vividly remember, I know this isn't the mythic one, but I vividly remember that like people were like really excited when they got rid of the mythic version of the primal, because they like did a weird thing where they like switched out the mythic at like the spire like 3 times for some reason. It was kind of weird, but I remember people were like excited to see that gone. And you know, gonna be honest, the primal shotgun, it definitely deserves the hate. Any one of these spammy shotguns are just so annoying. No one likes them. The only reason people use them is because they're broken and there's really nothing else you can do, like if they're in the game. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's kind of broken. Like, the only reason I can see this maybe being sort of balanced is because it was only ever in the game with a pump that could 200 headshot. But even then, this thing's still annoying to go against, and it's just kind of broken, and no one likes it. Alright, Striker Pump Shotgun. I'm gonna throw this one C tier. And you know, while I'm at it, I'm gonna throw the auto down there too. I actually think the auto's slightly better. Both of these shotguns are just watered down pumps and tacks. They are just worse versions in every way, and I don't know what Fortnite has with just making watered down pumps and tacks. We're gonna see that a lot like later on, but these things just, they need to stop making these watered down pumps and tack shotguns. They're just, why? They're never good. Like, I vividly remember that double pumping with the striker pump was faster, even with like the shotgun delay when it first came out. These weapons just, I don't like them. It's really kind of crazy how bad they are. Alright, next we have the new heavy shotgun, and I'm actually gonna place this one same tier but higher, the high B tier. The reason for this is because the damage is just good, and it works better as a long range shotgun than the original heavy did. It's just better. I don't think it's like crazy. I think there's a better heavy shotgun that we're gonna get to later that's better than this, but you know, this one's solid. It's a solid shotgun. A lot of people didn't like it. I think that's just because you need like good aim to use this one, either be right in their face or have good aim. So I can see why people wouldn't like it, but you know, I think this one, it'd be fun to use. Anytime I use this like creative or something, I always have fun with it. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in high B tier. Ranger Shotgun. This one is also a fun weapon. It's sort of like a worse heavy shotgun, so I'm gonna put it below that, but you know, it's fun. I like these like long range shotguns that are like very like skill based, you know what I'm saying? Not something like the heavy where it's like it's barely doing damage from that range at all, so it's like, why is it even like a long range shotgun? shotgun, kind of pointless. And it's not like the combat where it doesn't really require skill to use it. These two shotguns are a lot more fun to use, and yeah, I think that's just all I have to say about these kind of shotguns, these kind of long-range skill-based shotguns. Alright, two-shot shotgun. This is going to be our first, debating D or F. I think I'm going to put it in D. So, the two-shot shotgun is just like the definition of like a bad weapon. You don't want to be using this thing, you don't want to be caught using this thing. This thing is garbage. So, it kind of shoots like a primal shotgun, but it's slower. It doesn't have the same damage. It's just overall weak. It's just not good. Like, you don't, like, every job that this thing does has always been done better. Even when it was in the game. Like, you had the auto in the game, which just did its job better. You had, like, the striker pump in the game, which just did its job better, because it's kind of like a mix of those two. So, there's no real point to having this one in the game. So, I'm just gonna be honest, throw it down there. And, you know, while I'm at it, I'll actually throw down the makeshift down here, too. I just think that these weapons, every time they're in the game, their jobs are done better by something else. So, yeah. Prime shotgun. Alright, I'm gonna throw this one below the lever shotgun. So it's another pump-like shotgun, and this one has a unique gimmick where the more ammo it has in its clip, the more damage it does. So if you have 4 bullets, which is the maximum clip size, you get like the most possible damage you can, and then after that it kind of lowers off. I definitely think they could have done more with this weapon, like maybe in like mythic or something, because there's a mythic one of these, like having max like clip size or like max bullets in the clip. You could hit like a 200 with it, and then it keeps going down with each one. That could have been more interesting, but right now it just does max damage with a full mag, and then just keeps going, and then just like goes down once and then just stays there for the rest of the time. So it's kind of feels like it was kind of like a wasted potential with this kind of gimmick. It could have been better. I still think this one is definitely fun to use, you know, but yeah, it's kind of like every other shotgun in here. They're fun to use, but they're outclassed. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of fun to use but outclassed, it's the Evo Chrome shotgun, and I'm actually gonna put this one right there. So this one had an interesting gimmick. You know, the more damage you dealt, the higher rarity you can get this, and it went all the way up to mythic. And it shot like attack. It was like attack shotgun. Pretty sure it had like the same exact stats. The only difference was that the crosshair was really weird. Instead of shooting in like a little box formation, it shot in like a straight line, and it was just kind of awkward to use. It got better in higher rarities, but it was awkward to use when you like got it off spawn. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about the Evo Chrome shotgun. Alright, chapter 4 weapons. We got the Thunder shotgun, and I'm gonna put this low A tier. You know, it's a solid shotgun. It's another one of those shotguns where it takes multiple bullets per shot, which I don't really like when they do that with shotguns, but you know, at least this shotgun's decently strong. It's nowhere close to like pump shotgun level, but I still think it's better than these weapons down here, and you know, it still does good damage. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. They actually did a decent job with this pump remake, you know, not horrible. The Maven, on the other hand, is I kind of want to place it right here. The Maven is just, you know, it's not as bad as the auto. But yeah, it feels weak. I don't know how to explain it. Like, when I'm using attack, it feels strong to use the attack. It feels smooth to use, but the Maven just feels clunky to use. I don't know if it's like the sound effects or something that makes it feel like that, but it just doesn't feel good to use, and I'm just not a fan of it. I'm gonna be honest. All right, the Havoc, another pump reskin, practically. I'm gonna put this one in A tier again. I think I'll put this one above the Charge. You know, the Havoc, it's a solid shotgun. It did feel kind of clunky to use at times, but you know, it did good damage. Yeah, the Mythic one we'll get to later is really good, but the normal one, it's just alright, you know, it's solid. You know, if it was in the game, I wouldn't be mad, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Alright, next, we have the Sharp Tooth shotgun, and I'm gonna put this one in C tier. I don't like this shotgun. It's weak. I mean, it does decent damage. It does decent damage, okay? I know a lot of people, like, liked this shotgun last season, but alright, next we have the Infiltrator Pump Shotgun, and I'm gonna place this one probably low C tier. It's got the same problems as the Makeshift Shotgun does, except its stats are slightly better, so that's why I'm placing it here. But this thing just lies to you about being like a pump shotgun. It's really not. It's just, it has like the stats of attack shotgun or whatever, but it's not automatic. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what this thing should be called is the Infiltrator Auto Shotgun, and all they'd have to do is make it auto, and then boom. you got your new tac shotgun replacement, because this is not a pump. I'm telling you that right now. Alright, our final normal weapon is the wood stake shotgun, the newest shotgun. And I'm gonna place it probably low B tier. I'll probably place it around bottom B tier actually. So the wood stake shotgun is a lot like the new heavy shotgun, where it only shoots like one pellet or stake, I guess in this case. My whole problem with this shotgun is that it kind of feels clunky. Like when you shoot it, it kind of, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's not like, it doesn't have like a bullet like path or whatever, but it kind of feels like it shoots sort of like a sniper a little bit, which is kind of weird because it's a shotgun. I mean, other than that, it does decent damage. It's got overall good stats. I'm pretty sure if you got like the first shotgun augment, you could do 200 with this thing, because I'm pretty sure I've done that before, and if I find the clip, I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, it's just a decent shotgun, I'd say. It's kind of like a worse version of the new heavy shotgun in my opinion. Alright, into our exotics. We got the exotic double barrel, and I'm gonna put this one bottom of A tier. So it's basically just a normal double barrel, right? Except it has the ability to knock you back. It has the flint knock effect. And for that reason, I think it goes up a tier, because that effect is really good. You can save yourself from fall damage. You can get away from fights with this thing. This is more like a utility item than it is like a shotgun. So that's why I'm putting it in an A. It's a decent weapon still, and it also has a bonus utility effect that I think really saves this weapon from being just mid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I'm putting the exotic double barrel in A tier. Alright, so next we have the breacher shotgun. So this is the exotic heavy, and I'm gonna place this one above the charge, the lower rarity charge. So the reason I'm doing this one in A tier, it's not in B tier like the other heavy, is because this one did really good structure damage, and I know it got nerfed near the end of the chapter, but it still could like break most structures in like one shot, I believe. So yeah, it also did solid damage. It was another one of those first shotgun augment 200s that you can get early in the season. I'm pretty sure they nerfed it in the end, but it's still solid. It still did good damage, and it was mainly like a structure breaker. And I actually saw a few people running this with like another shotgun, which is a bit interesting because shotgun delay. But you know, still solid shotgun, still good shotgun. Probably put it along the ranks of the A tier shotguns. Alright, our final exotic shotgun is the accelerant shotgun, and I'm gonna put this top of S tier. So do I think this shotgun is better than these two weapons? Maybe, but I think this one's infinitely more fun to use than these two. So the way this works is it's basically just like a gold maven, right? So it's basically just a gold maven, and the more shots you hit with it, the faster the fire rate goes until you run out of ammo. So this thing can just like shred people. You get one shot off, and then your like attack speed just like goes up immensely. It's crazy. It's insane. So I think this is probably the best shotgun we got last chapter. I think there's like not really a lot of competition with this one in terms of best shotgun in Fortnite outside of the 200 pumps. But I think this one's just an overall like great weapon. I think if this one doesn't return in chapter 5, I'll be a bit upset, gonna be honest. Alright, so now we're getting into the mythics, and to start, we're gonna go with the mythic charge, and this one's gonna be SS tier. Alright, I know you're gonna say this isn't the right model, but I couldn't find a good high quality image of the normal charge when making this graphic, so you guys can just start shutting up about that. But other than that, the mythic charge is insane. You don't even have to charge it up to do good damage. You can still get good solid damage by just tap firing this thing. And when you hold it up, you can get like, I'm pretty sure this thing like almost one shots in 0 build. So that's like absolutely insane. That is just kind of busted. I think this one's also a bit of fun to use in like when it's in the game, you know what I'm saying? Like last season. Like this is definitely like a top contender for stuff you would take out of the vaults. It's really solid, it's really good. 200 pumps are always a nice thing to get, and yeah, solid weapon. Alright, mythic primal shotgun. It's just gonna go above the normal primal. It's just like a slightly better version of the primal shotgun. That's all it is. There's nothing special. I mean, it's still a good weapon. It's still like a primal shotgun, but it's nothing unique. And it got vaulted like 2 weeks into the season. It was in. So it's nothing too special. It's kind of forgettable. And yeah. Alright. First, chapter 4 mythic shotgun. Got the Havoc. And I'm going to put this one in SS tier. So the Mythic Havoc was the only shotgun in the game at the time that could 200 pump. And yeah, unlike the charged shotgun, this thing didn't need to be charged up to do 200. So that's one way it made it good. It's still a Havoc and still has the problems that I discussed with the Havoc earlier, but the 200 pumps I think really save this weapon and make it like an SS tier weapon. Like, as I said, all like these 200 easy 200 pumps are like SS tiers because you could just wipe out your opponent. At the start this thing could one shot in zero build, but after a few weeks it got nerfed down to 210 headshot. So it still could do a bunch of damage. Still one shot in build mode, but in zero build I would still recommend it, but I think if you went with like the high sit accelerant, I could understand, you know, I probably would too, but yeah, overall great weapon, you know, along the ranks. I do think it is the worst in SS tier though, in my opinion. Alright, Mythic Drum Shotgun. It's the same thing with the Drum Shotgun. I don't like it. I think it's not that fun to use. It's broken, and I just think this thing is a bit broken, and I'm kind of glad it was removed in season 4. But yeah, it's still a great weapon, but not for the right reasons. Alright, so we got our season 4 shotguns now. Alright. Mythic Infiltrator. It's a lot of these later chapter weapons, like I think later chapter mythics, suffer the same issue of just being slightly better versions. Like, I like when weapons are like way better than their original versions, like the Mythic Havoc, for example. It's way better than the original simply for the fact that it can 200. The Infiltrator can't really do that because it shoots too fast, so you kind of can't really do anything special with this. Maybe if it did something interesting, like it had more build damage, like the TAC did in like the OG days, maybe that could be interesting. That could have been something that could have been good for this weapon, but they didn't do anything like that, and it's just a slightly better version of the Infiltrator, so I can't really separate it much from the original. So yeah. And then finally we have the Mythic Woodstake, the high stakes shotgun. And this one never even was in game. I don't know why they added this one. You couldn't find this in game. It's just a slightly better version of the Woodstake shotgun. So I'm kind of confused on why it was even added in the first place. It's kind of random. Like, you could have done something interesting. Like maybe, like I know there's like a high stakes club in Fortnite or whatever. Maybe they could have done something interesting where like each of them is like a boss on the map, and if you kill them you get this mythic shotgun. That could have been cool. Could have been interesting having more bosses around the map that weren't just at one POI, but you know, what can you do? The season's already over. Alright, so that's my list. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.